What's going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. Elon might as well open his own channel, his own YouTube account, because I find him hilarious, and his reactions, especially to pop culture, they keep happening. John F. Trent, he loves his titles, so I'll tell you. Elon Musk reacts to Leslye Headland describing The Acolyte as lesbian fan film with Star Wars veneer. Reality is actually crazier than the South Park parody. Boy, that's a headline. And here we have, of course, and yes, these comments are older from her, but that's the thing, is no one was paying attention when they were talking about Acolyte up to a year ago, because no one actually thought it was going to be made. But now that we know that it is not only made, but it is coming out and is going to be focused on, i.e., they're not going to pull an Echo where they just release it all at once and forget it's happening. No. They're actually proud of this one. So let's see. Elon Musk, the owner of social media platform X, as well as Tesla and SpaceX, reacted to the resurfaced comments from the Acolyte showrunner Leslye Headland, describing the series as her lesbian fan fiction with a Star Wars veneer. And I was looking for the one where they did ask her about her. Boy, she couldn't talk about this show without saying queer like 20 times. But let's see if this is it. During an interview last year at Star Wars Celebration discussing the series, Headland said, and here, let's just see what she says.
When I saw Frozen as a grown-ass woman, I cried through the entire movie.
And the chick looking at her right here in the Padme outfit, that is Amandla Stenberg. She is the protagonist, the main star of she's the Acolyte, playing twin versions, one a Sith, raised by the Sith and hunting Jedi, and one a Jedi. And yeah, so let's continue with Leslie's beloved fan fiction.
Movie. There was just something about the relationship between the sisters, the like de-villainization of the classic kind of fairy tale bad.
Which is exactly what they're doing here, where they're saying that it's all about power. It has nothing to do with light or dark, and that apparently all the dark side were misunderstood. There's no actual good or evil in Star Wars, directly contradicting rather what George has said, that there is in fact good and evil. Yeah, no, I don't like any of this, but
bad guy, the concept of true love being
Harvey was just misunderstood. It wasn't true evil
between two sisters and not a heterosexual relationship. Like it just destroyed me completely. And I thought, gosh, I would love to make something like this that is, for lack of a better term, Disney, meaning it's something that like my parents would have allowed me to see when I was younger as a queer person.
Gotcha.
But I would have been able to understand as a queer person. And I think I would have had a completely different life. And so I really was inspired by it and was like, God, I would love to make a story like this. And so when I was developing this original idea to pitch,
it really is crazy. And Ryan from Arcade Outpost, he was talking a little about this. It's something different, but this subject, it really is everything to them. They can't think, do, be anything other than what their sexuality, according to them, is and allows them to. And everything they do and say is within that frame of reference of their queerness.
Pitch to Kathleen, I thought, well, it can't just be that, when you're pitching Star Wars, you have to pull from what, George was also interested in. Like, it can't just be like, well, I'm referencing, especially if you're going to set something, during the High Republic or end of High Republic into prequels, you don't have the Skywalker saga. Like, you can't reference a character that was created by George and or Filoni. Like, you have.
How can we key jangle? I can't key jangle for you if you don't let us use the Skywalker saga.
To create your own new characters.
Yeah, and then she's unfortunately told that she's allowed to use canon. She's allowed to use canon. So anyone thinking that somehow they're not going to entirely fuck up the Plagueis novel, you're wrong. They're going to completely mess it up. They're not, and she's just going to pick and choose what she wants, and everything else. Plagueis will be a female, will be a queer female. Plagueis is Palpatine's master now. Plagueis will be a lovely queer BIPOC woman, I guarantee you. Over here. So of course Musk finally saw this. Musk reacted to the video, writing on X, reality is actually crazier than the South Park parody. And of course we have here, if you're unfamiliar with the South Park parody of current, it was lampooned, of course, by South Park joining the Panderverse, where, quite frankly, much of the jokes made against Kathleen should have been against Kevin Feige. Kevin is the one using the pander stone, putting a chick and making her lay in game and everything. Gay and lame, rather. Let's see.
Is there a problem, people? No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a chick in it, make her gay.
Yes, Miss Kennedy, some of the execs are just expressing that maybe...
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones, put a chick in it and make her name it gay. Any diverse woman in it, make it gay.
But, Mrs. Kennedy, Bambi's a baby deer.
Fuck baby dear, put a chick in it, make her gay.
Linguine and clam sauce.
Excuse me, I believe I asked you to put a chick in this and make her gay.
Yes, the chef was a little confused what you meant by that.
It means put a chick in the linguine and make her fucking gay. And I want it lame. Is there a problem?
That is my favorite, obviously. Clearly, Headland's comments indicate she put a chick in the show and is making it gay and lame. In fact, Headland, former Harvey Weinstein personal assistant, Leslye Headland, reiterated much of this with an interview with Empire last year discussing the show. She informed the outlet, "It is sort of a joke, but it was my elevator pitch to Kathy. I wanted to take that revisionist version of female villains that you see in fairy tale media and tell it through that lens. When I was a young queer girl, When I was a young queer girl, I was just hanging out with Ursula the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid," Headland shared. "As a queer girl growing up, if you don't identify with the heroes and the villains show up and they're all queer coded, you're like, yes, that's me." As a queer filmmaker, you're going to see some camp, inevitably. But I would say that tonally, our references are darker, she added. Yeah. What do you... Yeah. So that's that. That's that. As a queer filmmaker, you're going to see some camp. I don't want the camp. And the fact that she automatically identifies with the villains, that's all you. You've done that to yourself. And yeah, let me know what you think of this. This just to me is... some of the interviews have said some very valid things that it's like, oh, well, if it wasn't made by someone I think is batshit or ideologically possessed, I would actually be really happy that they were saying the same things they were saying about canon, and she at least seems to know something about it. But the problem with that is Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant for all those years aside, everything else she said, she sounds no different than a Charmino bitch, who is only doing this to pass on her own ideological. I am an activist, and so all of my movies, whether overt or covert or subvert or any sort of vert, they have the activism. That's the activism is in it no matter what, and that's what it sounds like it's going to be here with Leslye Headland. And Elon Musk again. Thanks for the comments, because I don't think anyone was going to talk about these again, but you referenced it, and so now it gives us a green light to say, remember the dumb shit she said? Remember when she said queer 5 times in fucking 30 seconds and referencing a Star Wars movie? Because again, everything has to be under that frame of reference. Let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.